Selectivity of filters in cycle analysis. Filters are like fish nets. Imagine using a net to catch fish. The size of the mesh determines which fish get caught and which slip through. Similarly, a 40-day filter is tailored to highlight the 40-day cycle. It mutes or suppresses shorter cycles, less than 40 days, reducing noise. However, while shorter cycles get muted, longer cycles remain. Like a fishnet, a filter traps cycles of a given amplitude or higher, leaving out all smaller cycles. Now, this is going to be a short video. I just want to highlight one thing that I'm not sure you noticed in the previous lesson. If you didn't, don't worry. I actually used examples that clearly highlighted a single cycle. But let me show you an example from 2022 and 2023, again on Bitcoin. This is an 80-day cycle filter. That is, it is a 20-day moving average displaced backwards by 10 days. When I use an 80-day cycle filter, I am suppressing all of the cycles that are smaller than 80 days. However, cycles of 80 days in duration or higher will still pass through the filter. That is actually the technical term. It is called a pass-through. So when I use a filter, I'm not isolating an individual cycle. What I am doing is suppressing or eliminating cycles of a smaller duration than the one I'm trying to study. However, you can see that this black line is generally falling into this section here. It makes a low, and then it is generally rising after that. That is another cycle at work. That is actually the 15-month cycle at work. Now, this is something that I just thought I would mention in case you noticed. It is not true to say that a filter isolates an individual cycle. It doesn't actually do that. It works just like a fishnet. The size of the mesh will determine the minimum size the fish need to be in order to be trapped by the net. All smaller fish will not be captured by the net. This is the same thing. So a filter traps cycles of a certain duration or longer. It actually traps those cycles as well. It captures longer cycles as well. So remember, filters are like fishnets.